them.
You can add what it's names if you want.
Okay, awesome. I know Sam pretty well, actually, so that's probably good, but I won't. I'll keep it clean today. So the title of Sam's speech is Dreams versus Facts. Samuel will be speaking about dreams. His speech is 5 to 7 minutes long. And wait, what is this? Is this the title, or is that the?
That's the.
Got it. That's the category. The speech is under the Mind Body Speaks category. So everybody, please welcome up Mr. Samuel Knickerbocker.
You're welcome. I'm so grateful to be here today. We all have these moments where we're driving and then we actually realize that we're driving. Okay? This happens to me regularly. I'm on autopilot. I've gotten in my car. I'm just going somewhere without recognizing where I'm going. It's just like I naturally get in my car and I go to my office every day, maybe 2 or 3 times a day. And research would suggest we're in somewhat of a dream state. It's something we just do. And we're off dreaming, daydreaming, looking out the window, not really paying attention. You may have had this experience if you have ever learned how to drive a stick, a manual car. At first, it's like there's too much going on, you're popping the clutch, you're not quite getting it. But eventually, it becomes just second nature. I don't even think about it. I get a little bit tripped up when I drive my wife's car, and it's an automatic. And I'm naturally, right? I turn the corner off of 1300 North right by the Diamond Rental, and I turn in first gear, and I always push in the clutch and go to second gear, except for when you're in the middle of the intersection and you're in an automatic and you slam on the brakes, it's just not quite the same experience as in a manual, speeding up. So that is something that we all hopefully can relate to, this dream state. And what's the reality? The reality is we probably should be paying more attention to the road. We probably should be focusing on these things that are almost vital to our survival, especially while we're driving. This is an increasing problem in Utah. People die regularly on the roads, which is sad. So I want to just use that as a catalyst of how can we take more active approach into our dreams. But probably not the way you're thinking about taking an active approach into your dreams. I want to relate a story that happened to me when I was in Scotland on my LDS mission. It had been a long day. Our neighbors underneath of us, we lived in a 6-story flat building. They call them flats there for an apartment or condo relation. The nomenclature here would say it's a condo or a townhome. The nomenclature there would say it's a flat. And so we were in this building. It's late at night. Got to bed right around 1, 2 in the morning. It was a long, long day. Now our downstairs neighbors, they like to party. You sometimes could smell the weed coming up through the vents. They really like to have a good time downstairs. And this particular night, their music was really, really loud. However, I thought I was completely coherent and everything made sense to me in my dream. You may relate to this. Sometimes you are thinking one thing, you're going through life with this certain expectation, kind of half-mindedly, and it seems to make sense. When really, if we were basing our off of fact or reality, this makes no sense at all. So I wake up 1 or 2 in the morning. This is the only time maybe 3rd or 4th time that I actually know that I was sleepwalking. And the way we found out was, I woke up, my companion says, "Did you open the window last night?" It's like, no, it's freezing outside. I wouldn't open the window, right? It just doesn't make sense. So I asked him, "No, you must have done." He's like, "I did not. I slept like a baby all night long." It's like, okay. Then I started thinking about it. I was like, maybe I wasn't just dreaming. So what happened in my dream was I woke up. I was frustrated that this music was going on. So I walked all the way into the living room. It actually had red carpet, so this fits. I'm like, why is this not happening? So I had learned that if I was upset, then I did push-ups to use some energy before I started getting aggressive or anything. So I was pumping push-ups, and I got too tired to push-ups. It's like, this music is still going, so I start smoking on the floor. And it turns up. There's no way. Are our neighbors up downstairs? So I walk into our bedroom, and these windows, they're like the big windows that have the middle hinge, and you can open them up quite a bit. Now this is all I'm dreaming. I have no idea what actually has happened. But in my dream, I climbed pretty much mostly out of the window. I'm hanging out of the window, like braced my knees up against so I'm not falling out, right? And looking downstairs to see if the lights are on downstairs. Sure enough, they're on. So I go back in the living room, I start stomping on the floor again. This has got to stop. Turns up again. I was like, okay, maybe it's not them downstairs. So for some reason, this made sense. I go in to the kitchen where our washing machine is. And I open the washing machine, stick my head inside, seeing if it's this speaker. Doesn't make sense, right? But I stick my head in here thinking, this is it. Well, it wasn't it, but whatever happened, they must have got the message. They did turn off the music, so I go back and I fell asleep. All to find out the next morning that the window was shut when we went to bed, and my companion didn't open it. That's a little bit scary for me, thinking I was hanging outside the window half asleep. But how often do we do things in our life that are of consequence, could be of consequence, that we aren't paying attention to? How often do we naturally react to a situation, whether it's from our family or something? We're so used to having X, Y, or Z happen in our life that our natural response is an overreaction to something small because it's just a reaction. And we're in this dream state while we're dealing with relationships rather than actually thinking about what we're saying, listening, and having an impact and sharing heartfelt connection with those people in our lives that we actually do care about and we want to be able to help. That's what I have. Thank you.
Oh,